Hey, what's up, Southern High Vibes? In today's video, I just want to talk about basically the FUD, which translates to the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and how like you need to let go of the fears, the uncertainties, and the doubts in your life because a lot of people, they live by like fears, uncertainties, and doubts, and it's true. And a lot of people like spread that to other people, based off their egos and stuff. And the reason why they do this is because sometimes they're unaware of it, but there's those people, of course, the agents that know that they're doing it purposely. So what they'll do is they'll like say like you're really high in vibes one day, and you really have like you're wearing some clothes that you really like and you're really happy about it. Then comes along the person's judging you and saying all this stuff about your clothes, which will start to make you feel fearful of wearing it, and then having uncertainties about wearing it. You're like, oh, should I wear this clothing, or should I do this, or should I wear a certain makeup and things like that. And these agents will do stuff like that because they know if they can get you into a fearful and uncertain and doubtful state, therefore they can actually start like controlling your mind more because your mind's in a more frantic state. And see, that's where you have to learn to tame your ego basically, and get a hold of those different states, and basically like, no, like I'm not going to let my ego tell me what I should be doing right now, or like feeding myself into certain fears and stuff like that. You got to be willing to let go, and like sometimes just literally just let go for a second and just be like, you know what, I'm not gonna let my ego tell me what to think, or like what I should fear in my life, or be uncertain about, or be doubtful, because a lot of times a lot of people are being fearful, uncertain, and doubtful about things that they shouldn't even be fearful or uncertain or doubtful about. Like a lot of times like you should be confident in yourself, and like I made a video a while back talking about being actually confident in yourself, and it's that spiritual confidence. And a lot of people don't have that spiritual confidence within them because they allow their ego to run, these cycles within their own minds and stuff like that. But you have to learn to let go of those, fears and doubts, so that way you can free up the energy, so that way you can flow with different energy, so that way you can experience different, experiences in this life. Instead of experiencing all the fearful and uncertainty, doubtful experiences, there's positive, confident, experiences, happy, experiences. That's the stuff that you got to tune into. That's the stuff that you got to be like, okay, this is what I need to do in my life. This is what I should be doing. Having those positive, high vibing experiences, and getting those spiritual experiences too. Like, why would you want to have like ego-based, fearful experiences when you could have positive, magical experiences in your life? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, ask yourself, is it really that bad to have, magical experiences in my life and things that are mysterious and wonderful? Like, is it really that bad? It's not that bad. It really isn't. Like, a lot of people, they get themselves like all caught up in like logical, linear way of thinking, and scientifical. So that shit doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, spirit's shapeless, spirit's formless, and all that stuff. So you have to learn to let go of constantly being fearful about certain things in your life, being uncertain of like who you should trust, or being doubtful of like what people say to you. Some people could watch this and some people could be fearful and uncertain and doubtful about what I say. They're like, man, I don't know if I should trust this guy. Like, but because of that, if you can't trust, someone that's in a high vibration like myself, or anybody that's like in the RTM community, stuff like that, it shows that you can't trust yourself, and you haven't learned to like let go of those fears and those uncertainties and doubts. And what's going to help you do that is basically doing journaling, meditation, and doing self-reflecting. A lot of people in this reality don't do self-reflecting on themselves because they're too worried about what everyone else thinks and what other people are reflecting off themselves. And it's just this game of basically like mirror hexes that people are like putting on each other, and like all these different like illusions and stuff they're basically attaching themselves to, and then feeding into it over and over and over again. You have to let go of those illusions and all those attachments to the illusions that these agents and the MP have made for everybody, because that's what they want you to be attached to, is all the fears and the uncertainties and doubts. They want to get into your mind, so that way they can manipulate it and basically like, okay, yeah, believe in this. This is what we want you to believe in. Feed into this program so it feeds our system and what we want, our little utopia. Like, that's what they want basically. That's what they thrive off of, is like your uncertainty, your doubt, and all that stuff. Like, they want you to be all these different things. They want to distract you. They want to try to get inside your mind, because they know that like that if they can do that, they really can mess up your life. Like, there's people in the community that were joined and everything like that, and then they let those fears and those uncertainties and doubts get to them, and then basically it led to certain different things, and people have left because they tuned into their egos. And that's one thing you need to not do, is tune into your ego. You need to tune into your art, your spirit, and do those things, so that way you can actually start to like break free from certain programming that you've put onto yourself, and what the MPA and the matrix system has and society has put onto you, because it feels uplifting. It feels good to finally let go of those different things, because you'll feel the difference in energy in your awareness, because you're no longer tuned into those lower vibrating thoughts and things like that. You have to just basically let go, so that way you can be like, okay, now I can actually have the energy to do other things in my life, so that way you can show other people like, hey, there's this other stuff you can look at. Instead of looking at all this shit in the water, you can be like, there's a fresh, clean pool with flowers and frogs and birds chirping over here. Observe this, instead of observing the thoughts of the ego all the time, because that's what happens too with people. They'll observe the thoughts of the ego and stuff like that and tune into it. And what will happen is, since they continuously feed into that, their view and their perception will continue to stay at that same thought of what you're viewing. Because when you have to make a shift within your consciousness, you have to be willing to actually shift your perspective out of that state and be like, okay, I'm not going to think like this. You literally have to tell yourself that you're not going to think like this anymore. You have to be like, instead of sitting here believing what everyone else is saying, you need to go inside your own mind and really tune into your mind and actually really see what's going on, and then tune within your heart, because a lot of people don't want to go within their heart, but that's the greatest spot to find where a lot of the problems are, because your heart can be scarred sometimes, and you have to learn to heal your heart, so that way you can help heal other people's hearts and things like that. And you'll see, once you can do that, how it helps so many other people in this reality. You'll see how when you shine, I shine, and when I shine, you shine, as within, so without. So when we all can start bouncing that energy back and forth with more of a positive energy, we're going to start to see that bigger shift in reality, where when people talk about, there's going to be a consciousness shift, and all these different things, there has to be a consciousness shift within you, so that way, as within, so without, so it starts reflecting with everyone else. Everyone wants someone else to be the first person to make a change, but you have to be willing to make that first step. You can hear information and stuff like that and take it in and be like, okay, but you have to actually be willing to take the steps. That's a big thing, is people don't want to take the steps. People want to take the elevator all the time. People just want to, cut, 4 or 5 steps, and they just want to go up and be like, yep, I'm here already. You have to be willing to, take your time, especially, some of the younger people out there, they got to learn to, just kind of relax, because, it can be exciting with certain things. And that's what people sometimes do to themselves as well, is get ahead of themselves. A lot of people, they get so excited about certain things, and then they think they're learning something, but what will happen is, you want something so bad, then you'll get yourself confused with the ego, and what will happen is you'll believe that you got this download from spirit or something, but really it was from the ego, because you were too excited and you weren't patient enough, because everything takes time. You just got to be willing to be patient, be calm about it, and really just take the time to really tune into your spirit, really take the time to meditate, and journal about your experiences, really be aware of what's really happening in reality, seeing the different symbology and the different energy exchanges and different all these different things that are happening in reality. I'm not going to say everything, but my main point of this message is actually you people and possible connects out there to just let go of those fears, let go of the uncertainties, let go of the doubts. Believe in yourself. If you ever wanted to make a business for yourself, you could do that. You got to believe in yourself and believe in your heart and that passion, that desire to really change your life and make a better life for yourself. You got to believe in your ability to change, because if you feed into the fears and doubts, how are you ever going to feed into those positive aspects? You have to be willing to feed those positive aspects of yourself, so that way you can build that momentum into the upper world, because a lot of people are feeding themselves into that lower vibration, where they're going into the underworld. So you got to take your energy back and harness it and cultivate it and make it useful for yourself, so that way you can properly manage your PTU system, which is your personal technology unit, and actually use it for better programs for yourself, better energy aspects for yourself, being confident, being happy, being more outgoing, being more energetic, being more vibrant. And people will see that in you. People are like, man, you're not the same person anymore, you're a different person. And you'll get the confirmations from spirit, it's all up to you and things like that. You'll see, it's all there waiting for you. You just got to be willing to let go of all those things, because once you can do that, it'll allow you, access to different higher states of consciousness, because you're not going to get anywhere unless you tame your ego to a certain point. And you can't get to anywhere in the higher realms if your ego isn't tamed. So that's what happens to people when they get ahead of themselves, because they haven't learned to tame certain aspects of their ego. They get ahead of themselves, and really they think they're actually growing, but sometimes they'll actually get the wrong information. But that's why we're all here together. That's why we're here to help each other, so that way, if that does occur, we can help each other out, basically, and be like, okay, this is right, and that's wrong. There's got to be some people out there that know right from wrong, so that way they can help other people. Like look at our MC. he definitely knows right from wrong, and you know, like, and you can learn, you know, through all the videos that he's, you know, basically put out there, and all the archive videos. You know, he's put a lot of great content out there, you know, and I've watched like all the videos, you know, like, and personally, like, look where I've watched, go watch my very first video and go watch every single one, you know, how, you know, I've grown. Look how the MC's grown too. You know, there's never a day where, you know, you're not going to be growing your life. You should understand that, like, life is a constant growth. You know, you always have to be taking those steps, because if you're not taking steps, which steps are you taking? You know, are you aware of the steps are you taking? Are you aware of, you know, just be aware, you know, that's the really main point, you know, because all it really is, when, you know, it's just symbology in different terms, you know, and the more you let go of your ego, those terms and terminology will be open to you, so you can understand them and stuff like that, and you'll get the information when you need it. But you have to be able to tame your ego, you know, you have to be disciplined with yourself, and, you know, do the meditations, journal, and do all those things, because you're not going to get anywhere if you don't do those things. But, you know, that's the main point of this video, is you just letting go of those fears, those uncertainties and doubts, because they want you to feed into that, basically, you know. And that's all I want to say in this video. You know, once you can do that, you're going to see how you start gaining more information and true information, and then you'll be able to resonate with and actually help other people with that different type of information. But that's all I want to say in this video. You know, I truly appreciate you all. So my full love to all are watching. Peace out with my highs of vibrations, and always my gratitude.